You probably clicked on this video for one or two reasons. A, you grew up in a single parent household just like me, or two, you just saw the title of the video and want to know 3 things that your dad never taught you. I'm not gonna waste y'all time. Let's get into the first point. Choose your circle carefully. I think this is such an important thing, especially in the young African American community, and I've experienced it personally. Like, I used to be friends with people who were really like just some bad people to hang around, people who were just so focused on just having sex with a bunch of women, being promiscuous, doing things we ain't had no business doing, smoking, all that type of stuff. And I realized who I hang around is a direct reflection of who I will become in the future. And once I started to kind of think differently and started to hang around people who are more like-minded like me, I started to see everything around me change. So if you don't take nothing away from what I just said, your circle matters so much. Your network is your net worth. That's one of the biggest quotes I heard about your circle. And then at the end of the day, you want to be around people who aren't yes men. I found myself in a position where I was around people who they were yes men. Like, they gonna say, yeah, let's do this. Come on, do this. No one can think for themselves. You know what I mean? Like, they were always just on go. And it's like, bro, you don't have to be that way. I want to be around people who are gonna tell me when I'm wrong. They're gonna be with me whether I'm right or I'm wrong, but they got enough just manhood to tell me, like, nah, Caleb, like, you BSing, like, that's not the right choice. Like, I want people who are gonna push me to be the person I want to be and push me to get to levels that they see me getting at. And I think that's the best type of people to surround yourself around. Not the ones who will constantly bring you down, not the ones who are getting on your head because you're trying to do different. You want to be around people who are going to push you and motivate you to do better. So the first point is to make sure you know who you're hanging around and watch your circle. And I got my little notepad right here just to make sure I stay on top of you. I know I got ADHD, so I like to yap a little bit. But number 2, this is a big one. And it's probably, I don't know, all 3 of these are really important. But number 2 is to learn how money works. Growing up in a single parent household, I saw my dad on the weekends, but I predominantly live with my mom. And I feel like just learning about taxes, financial literacy, and budgeting was just so taboo in my house. And I've learned as I graduated college and I got my big boy job, I've had to learn how to manage money on my own. And I'm a little over a year out of being out of school, and probably like my first 3 months, my checks, they were just going. I'm like, where's all my money going? But I had no idea how to budget my money. I had no idea how to invest. I had no idea that I need to have a 3 to 6 month emergency fund just in case something happens. They say the best time to prepare for war is when nothing else is going on. And I realized that the biggest thing when it comes to learning how money works is it's really like 1, 2, maybe 3 things. The first one is budgeting. If you want to find a simple way to just learn how to manage your money, 50, 30, 20. 50% needs to go to your necessities, your gas, your groceries, your subscriptions, all that. 50% of your check. 30 can go to whatever you want it to go to. 30 can be, you want to go out, get a bite to eat. You want to go buy some new shoes. You want to go to the movie theater. 20 goes to your savings. So that money can't be touched. You can leave it in your bank. No, don't leave it in your bank account. Open a high yield savings account. I use SoFi. Shout out SoFi. There's no free promo, but SoFi is a great high yield savings account. You get 4% APY if you have a direct deposit set up. If you don't know what that is, I can go into more depth about that. But have a high yield savings account for that 20%. And then out of that 20%, invest that into a brokerage account and look at different stocks like the S&P 500, VOO, QQQ, Amazon, Walmart, all stuff like that, because you want your money to work for you at the end of the day. You don't always want to just have your money just sitting in the bank. You want to be able to invest in things that are really going to give you a good ROI, and ROI is return on your investment. So learning how to manage your money, I think budgeting was probably the hardest thing that I had to experience when I just graduated, because I didn't know how to manage any type of money, and just learning about stocks, learning why different stocks do good, learning how to invest, how much to invest, just different things like that. So learning to invest your money is so important. And this is the last one. There I might say this is probably the most impactful in my life right now. One thing that I'm working through on an everyday basis is my habits matter more than my motivation. Right now, I'm trying to grind and grow my YouTube channel. I'm trying to grind and blow up on social media. I'm at 300 subscribers at the recording of this video. My habits have gotten me this far, and I know I can be so much further if I lock in. It has to be so much more consistent. But some days my habits don't align with my motivation, and some days my motivation doesn't align with my habits. But my habits are what I do on a repeated daily basis. If I can do that each and every single day, I won't need motivation. So my baseline habits right now is on every other day to create at least 2 YouTube videos and put out 2 to 3 short form pieces of content. And on those other days, I'm just gonna focus on straight short form content, and that'll all be posted to this channel right here. But the main thing what I'm trying to say is your habits, your habits, your habits. You don't need to change everything you're doing around. You need to become the person who, how do I say this? You shouldn't have goals in life. You shouldn't be focused on the destination. You should be focused on the person it takes to get to those goals in life. You know what I mean? And it's a struggle. I'm not gonna lie, it's so hard to break a habit. I think it takes like 21 days to form a new habit and like probably 30 or 40 days for it to become a part of your identity. And I just think about so many times in my life when I was trying to get closer with God, I was like, what can I do to get closer with God? Just something simple. And I realized when I was waking up in the past, early in the morning, I would go straight to Instagram and start scrolling. And I was like, let me stop doing that. Every time I wake up now, I'll open my Bible app and read the verse of the day, and I have my quiet time. And you know what it took? It took me just having a mental bandwidth to not go on Instagram and start my day out reading the word. First thing I do every single morning, open my phone, go straight to the Bible app. And I just think it's a conscious thing that you have to do, but it matters. And it's about changing your habits and knowing and having enough accountability to say like, yeah, like my habits, they aren't where they need to be. They aren't getting me to the point where I want to be later on in life. Your habits are either making you or breaking you. And once you realize that, I mean, the sky's the limit. But this is going to be a quick video, y'all. I really hope y'all enjoyed this, man. I'm back on my YouTube grind. Missed y'all, man. I know I got a lot of new subscribers, and I'm just happy to bring y'all content, valuable content, just about me, my experience, and just giving knowledge back to y'all, man. If y'all like this video, like, comment, and subscribe. You made it to the end of this video, drop a 1 in the comment section. Y'all follow me on all my socials at MP Caleb. I love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for letting me hit 300 subs, and I'm gone. Yeah!